In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of this Sharp Aquos Crystal. Now, I got this phone off eBay quite some time ago, actually, for about $30, and it was in fully working condition. Now, based on the pictures in the listing, the phone appeared to be in pretty good shape, but in reality, it's in decent shape. It definitely doesn't look very bad at all. It's perfectly intact around the edges and such. However, as you just saw there, and I'll show you again, the screen is quite heavily scratched. So that is quite unfortunate. And another problem that this phone has is the screen is actually starting to separate from the rest of the phone, as you can see there. But despite those two cosmetic imperfections, however, this phone is in really good condition. Now, this phone is quite unique, as you can see, in that this was one of those, I think it was, I don't know if any other phones are like this, but this phone was advertised because of its bezel-less display. Now, as you can see by looking at it on the front, we have a quite thick bezel on the bottom. However, the rest of the screen goes straight from edge to edge, which is definitely quite interesting. And also, if you take a look at the back of the phone, you can see it has this kind of texture to it. You can see the camera and the flash up there, and the logo down here. Now, this phone, believe it or not, was actually a budget-oriented phone. It was only available on Sprint as a prepaid phone, and there was also a Boost mobile variant of the phone, which of course was sold with the Boost mobile service. And the way you can tell the difference between the two is by looking at the back. The Sprint model, is what I have here, will have a black back, whereas the Boost mobile variant will have a white back. So that's how you can tell the difference between the two devices. Now, another unique feature of this phone is the way that they implement the headset, or the earpiece speaker. Now, since of course there's no bezel or room up here for one, they actually did quite a strange implementation and actually used the glass as the earpiece. Now, the way that works is it actually, I guess it has some sort of coil like attached to the screen, and it basically just vibrates the screen and produces the sound that way. So basically, you could put your ear up to anywhere on this phone and you would get the exact same audio quality. And the microphone, of course, is down here on the bottom, which is right there. Also on the front of the phone here, you can see we have the front-facing camera, and there is actually a strange feature that tells you to turn your phone upside down when using it, I guess to get a better angle on it. Right here we have the proximity sensor, and next to that we have the notification LED. So on the bottom of the phone, you can see that we have the microphone, as I showed you before, as well as the micro USB port. Over on this side we don't have anything, and on this side all we have is the volume rocker. On the top of the device you can see that we have the headphone jack as well as the power button and lock button. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is go ahead and start up the phone. So you can see it's starting to boot up right now. Alright, and as you can see, we are now booted into an operating system. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the device. And you can see the device there. So as you can see, right when we boot up, it actually runs pretty dang fast. No real lag or anything at this point. Get rid of these notifications. So yeah, I mean, overall this device is pretty snappy. It is currently running Android 4.4.2 KitKat. So if we go into the About Phone setting here, you can see that it is indeed running Android 4.4.2. So let's go ahead and go into that. You can see that it has the little Easter egg. And we have this screen. So you can see that it's running a fairly stock version of the KitKat ROM. So if we go ahead into the app drawer here, we can take a look at the software that comes pre-installed with it. You get this assistant app, Clip Now, which I'll show you later. Lumen toolbar, and here's some Sprint apps down here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there are not many pre-installed apps on this device, which is actually quite nice. So let me go ahead and show you some of the unique features that this phone has. So we go ahead into the settings here, and we go into display, or not Clip Now, but display. You can see that it has kind of some interesting things here. So you have the what they call the frameless effect, and what this is here, if we select it, you can kind of see what it does. It puts a little like light thing on the outside of the screen, and you can select from a few different ones here. So that's quite interesting, and I kind of like it. And when that shows up in normal use of the phone is after you unlock it. So you can see as I lock and relock it, every time the display comes on, it shows that little animation. We also have flashing alarm, which will put a little white thing around the display, and that'll go off whenever you have an alarm set and it goes off. You can also select when to start charging, so basically this will show up whenever you plug the device into USB power. So those are some quite some interesting features. I think they're off. Yeah, here we go. You can also set the screen to stay on, and that'll basically just show a notification on the screen when it's locked, or it'll show like a clock. I'm not exactly sure how this works. Yeah, I'm not sure what that does really, but I think it only just shows notifications when the device is off. So if we go ahead and go back, you can turn on these features, and basically what that'll do is if you shake the phone, it'll lock, and you can unlock the phone by just swiping your finger on the screen like so. And as you saw when I turned them on, it does use a little bit extra battery power, so I'm going to go ahead and leave those off. So yeah, that's pretty much the an overview of the unique features on the phone. Another thing that's quite interesting is the way you take screenshots with it. So you can either tap and hold in either of these two corners. So I'll go ahead and do it on this corner. And as you can see, you kind of grab the whole screen that you're on, and to actually take the screenshot, you swipe it all the way to the left. And if you want to dismiss the screenshot, you simply release. So I'll go ahead and take a screenshot and show you what that looks like. So you can see saving screenshot up there, and you can see the screenshot I just took there. And it's actually giving me a little tutorial on how to use that screenshot feature. But yeah, that's basically an overview of this phone. As I said before, runs really, really well, for a budget phone, it does run quite well. So that is an overview of the Sharp Aquos Crystal. Go ahead and shut it down here. See the little animation it has. So yeah, that is an overview of the Sharp Aquos Crystal. Hope you enjoyed this video.